Are you tired of corporate America and you're ready to leave the rat race? Are you ready to live life on your own terms? Today's video is going to be about those people who are ready to leave corporate, fat fire, and live abroad. I'm going to be sharing today 6 powerful tips that will help you on your journey to fat fire by building a powerful network. So let's get into it. Hi, my name is Keanon Slade, and I have successfully fired. That is, I have achieved financial independence, retired early, and I'm living here in sunny Costa Rica. And today I found a shady spot. If you're looking for a life coach, then I help good guys build a great life outside the US. Today we're going to be jumping into some things that will really up your game when it comes to building your network. When you start this journey, you want to realize that the people that you surround yourself will impact you greatly. You've heard the saying that the rich get richer. Normally that's taken in a negative connotation, but in this light where you are surrounding yourself by people that can help you or thinking on the same lines, this will begin to change where you are today into where you're going to be tomorrow. The first type of person that you need in your network is a coach. Now, I know that sounds a little bit biased, me being a coach and all, but it's really important. Whether you are trying to fat fire or relocate out of the United States, you really want somebody with experience to help you guide you on your way. So a little known fact that people may or may not know about me, depending on when you started watching me, was I moved to Costa Rica and fired in 2018. But really, my journey started in 2012. Now, it took me 6 years to finally move to Costa Rica. Now, I started doing the math, and because I use budgeting tools that I tell you guys about to use, the Quicken, for example, I looked back and saw how much I spent during that particular time. I spent $405,000 over that 6-year period just doing life in the wrong country. You're like, oh, wow, that's a lot of money. Yeah. But what was more crucial and more important than how much money I spent was that it took me 6 years. That's 6 years of my life that I can't get back. I could have gotten to Costa Rica a lot sooner. My issue wasn't money. My issue was realizing that I had enough money because I was always fighting fear. And since I was fighting fear, it was delaying me being able to pick up and move. The other thing that I was fighting was my identity. My identity was in my success or failure, for that matter, in how I did in my business. I didn't really realize there were a lot of internal things going on. Again, it cost me 6 years. If I would have paid a coach $10,000, that would have saved me 40 times what I end up spending staying in the wrong country. A coach helps fast track you, and that's the secret. That's time. Money you can lose and get back, but time you can never replace. That's time with your family. That's time being free, following your dreams. That's time, that you need to learn or maybe start a business. Those are hours and precious days that you cannot get back. And time matters. Now, I want you guys to watch the very end because I put all of this together so that you guys can build a strong network that will help you achieve your goals of relocating or fat firing. Let's get into the next point. The second person you need on your team is a business coach. And you're going to say, Keanon, you've already said coach. Yeah, spoiler alert, the first 3 are coaches. The reason why I say business coach is you need someone that's going to get you from point A to point B and do it quickly. The problem with a lot of things that we try to do, we try to save a few dollars here and we lose a lot of money in the journey, or we lose a lot of time in the journey. When you have a business coach, especially if you desire to be in real estate, is to mimic someone who's successful. How did they do it? There was a friend that I had who, when the market went bad, where I lost a good chunk of everything because I didn't understand and I didn't have a coach, again, trying to DIY everything, that there were some changes that I needed to make very quickly. Where I ended up getting into financial trouble at that time, she ended up taking bulks of house, 100,000. She ended up bulking. I ended up not doing so well later on in the real estate game because of the market bust. She ended up pivoting and taking the opportunity to sell multiple houses. We're talking hundreds, if not thousands of houses to other investors, where she was able to turn her loss into millions. If I had a coach and if I had someone that could train me, because she had a coach, she had someone to train her, I could have turned it around very quickly. But because I was doing like most of you guys, especially on YouTube, I was trying to DIY it. I didn't see the opportunity. I just knew the traditional ways. At the time, it was buying and flipping or renting, which was not what I wanted to do, but I ended up having to do it. I thought, okay, if I can't flip it, I'll rent it. You don't make a lot of money just renting 1 or 2 houses, especially if there's something that needs to be fixed. If I would have took the time to get a business coach in the area that I desired the most, then I could have learned very quickly how to pivot, how to make money or turn the lemons into lemonade, if you will. If you guys are resonating with this, I want you guys to click the link below. I want you guys to understand there's some things that you have to realize on your journey to fire, on your journey to relocate, on your journey to understand the things that you need to make these lifetime changes. So I want you guys to click the link below and we'll get into the next point. Third, like I promised, the other person that you need on your team is a financial coach. And I kept looking up the term, like, is it financial coach, financial advisor? Let me be clear. This particular person is going to help you find alternate forms of investing your money and give you good skills, especially if they know that you want to fire. So I'm not talking about the traditional coach that says, okay, you're just going to save your money in this traditional form and hopefully by 65 it'll be ready to help you. No, you're looking for someone that's going to say, hey, I see you're on a path to fire. You should probably save up 50% of your income. Or you're married, only use one income and invest the rest. You want someone who can guide you into different things like that. What happens is if you just grew up with a certain mindset, again, I said that in the beginning, the rich get richer. The reason why is when you're brought up, a lot of times in my family, we just didn't talk about money. Because of that, if you just paid your bills, you were good. But again, the rich get richer. It wasn't until I ran into some other friends that their family taught them, hey, son, this is how you invest. I've already invested for you. Here's $300,000 in stock. Do it as you will and as I taught you. He decided, okay, I want to use half for college. I'm going to invest the other. And so he decided to invest in himself because he became very good in computers and IT, and I love IT, so great for that area. He also was able to save up money that continued to grow. Guess what happened when he had his kids? Even though they're young, they're already invested, they're already learning the same type of stuff. It was about teaching and understanding a new way for finances. That's why if you especially did not grow up around that, if that person's not available in your family, even if they are, you still want a different perspective. You want to be able to find a financial coach that's going to advise you to do things that are different. Take chances and risks, especially since you have time, to make sure that your financial future is secure, but your legacy and your generations to come. Today's question is, do you have the correct people in your network to help you succeed? And in the comments, don't just put yes or no. Say who they are and how they help and how they motivate you to go forward. The next point is have a cultivating group of friends. Now, I could have said this in many other ways. I was just trying to be, let's say, politically correct. But you don't want a whole bunch of bums for your friends. And the reason is, you've heard the saying, if you hang around 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one. Now, that again goes back to the conversation before. Are your friends or the group of people that you're hanging with willing to talk about finances? And I'm not talking about, oh, let's just start this brick and mortar thing. We can sell popsicles at 10 cents and we're going to split the profit and one day be millionaires. And they've never made money. No, that's not the person that I'm talking about. You need people that will say this investment is a good deal versus investments is just gambling. Again, the people that you surround yourself with and the stuff that you take in, the words, especially when you're doing investments, whether it's stock market and real estate, and the market goes down, does your crew or do your people say, oh, you shouldn't have did that, and put more fear and hardship into your mind? Or do they help you like, hey, we should pivot, we should do this, or we should go learn that? You want those people that inspire you to do good things. Now, it doesn't have to be 100%. This is ideally, this is a world that is imperfect. But you do want to have 1 or 2 good friends that will be able to help you and get you on your way. That brings us to the next point. Where do you find these people? A lot of times there are master classes, there are groups, there are sessions. I've been in many different sessions and many different events where they'll have breakout groups. It would be a free training or maybe a $300 training or something like that, virtually or something like that. And it was like, okay, let's connect. I was able to connect with like-minded people. We would meet outside after the event was over, and we just started growing together. I was able to do that multiple times with different groups. And as we maybe went our separate ways, I found new people to replace. There was just a way of being around a particular group of people that were always interested in growing it financially or business or relocation, whatever it is. You are able to find that in master classes and different groups and getting involved. Now, I'm not telling you to take everybody's advice, especially if you're trying to fat fire and relocate. But if you don't have not one perspective, then anybody's perspective seems good. But when you start surrounding yourself by people of similar mindset, you'll start to be like, oh, this idea was good until I heard that one. And we see a lot of people in this direction, and it's successful, and it's a proven path. Those are the directions that you start listening to. That takes time, and that's something that you should start today. I want you guys to click the link below to begin your journey. Find out some information that you really need to fat fire, to relocate, to prepare yourself for this new transition in your life. And until then, I will see you on the other side.